Charity faces a terrifying ordeal in upcoming Emmerdale scenes as she finds herself targeted by Dr Caitlin Todd. Over recent weeks, Todd has relentlessly blackmailed Charity over the secrets surrounding baby Leyla's true parentage. Initially demanding £10,000, Todd later increased her price to £100,000 after learning that Charity co-owns the Woolpack. Throughout the ordeal, Charity has been determined to keep the truth hidden, fearing the heartbreak it would cause Sarah and Jacob. Recently, she even approached Kim Tate in the hope of selling her share of the pub to raise the money. However, Kim refused the offer, leaving Charity increasingly desperate. She then attempted to steal cash from the safe at Home Farm, but was caught by Dingle. Despite the setback, Charity refused to see it as a warning to come clean. Instead, she went to the depot and stole stock, enabling her to hand over £30,000 to Todd. But Todd had no intention of easing the pressure. She warned Charity that unless the remaining money was paid by the following day, she would expose the truth about baby Leyla during Sarah's 21st birthday celebration. In upcoming scenes, Todd is seen enjoying a drink at the pub with Manpreet Sharma, while Charity and Jacob prepare for Sarah's party. Todd corners Charity while pinning a photo of Sarah to the wall and takes the opportunity to make more pointed remarks about Leyla and the financial cost of birthday celebrations. Unable to cope any longer, Charity abruptly leaves the pub, claiming she needs to take Moses to football. Whether she simply cannot bear being around Todd or has come up with another plan to raise the money remains unclear. These scenes air on Sunday, June 7th, before Todd later sexually assaults Charity. The storyline will focus on the isolation and emotional struggles survivors can face following an assault, particularly in cases involving violence between women. In the aftermath, Charity is left battling her trauma and must decide whether to open up to those closest to her or suffer in silence. Discussing the storyline, producer Sophie Roper explained that it examines the devastating impact of sexual violence and the unique challenges Charity faces when the perpetrator is another woman. The story aims to highlight the lack of discussion surrounding female-on-female assault and the intense loneliness many survivors experience. It will also explore how some victims feel that legal terminology does not fully reflect the severity of what they have endured. Despite the difficult subject matter, the storyline will ultimately focus on Charity's strength and determination as she confronts the consequences of the attack. Emma Atkins described the plot as one of the most challenging and important storylines of her career. She said that while Charity is known for her resilience and toughness, the trauma reveals a deeply vulnerable side of the character that has been emotionally difficult to portray. She added that she hopes the storyline encourages survivors to speak out and helps others better understand the lasting impact of trauma. Cammie's kind gesture gives Kane a much-needed confidence boost. Many people have tried to support Kane Dingle since his cancer surgery in Emmerdale, but it was an unexpected resident who managed to help him in a way nobody else could. One of the most difficult consequences of the operation has been the loss of full bladder control, something that has deeply affected Kane's confidence and self-respect. After having his catheter removed, Kane celebrated by heading to the pub, hopeful that life was finally beginning to return to normal. However, after drinking too much, he struggled on his journey back to wishing well. During the walk home, he urgently needed the toilet and relieved himself at the roadside. Unfortunately, he was caught and arrested for public urination and being drunk and disorderly. What troubled Kane most wasn't the arrest or spending a night in a police cell. Instead, he was mortified that strangers had witnessed his lack of bladder control. In the days that followed, he decided it would be easier to stay indoors than risk another embarrassing incident. His withdrawal soon began affecting Kyle. Although the youngster knew his father had been ill, he didn't realize Kane was avoiding outings because he feared being too far from a toilet. With no explanation from Kane, Kyle started believing his dad simply no longer wanted to spend time with him. A conversation with Liam eventually encouraged Kane to rethink his approach. Determined to regain some independence, he purchased leak-proof underwear. Feeling more secure, he returned to the garage for his first shift back, reassured that any accident would remain private. Arriving at work, Kane informed Cammy that he intended to take things slowly and focus on catching up with paperwork rather than jumping straight into repairs. What he didn't notice was Cammy quietly removing a component from a vehicle, creating a problem that would allow Kane to step in and fix it himself. Later that day, the pair returned to wishing well. Cammy proudly told Moira and Mackenzie that they had achieved a lot at the garage, while Kane downplayed the success as usual. Once Moira and Mackenzie left, Cammy settled beside Kane on the sofa. Kane wasn't exactly thrilled by the company, but he tolerated it. Deep down, he had realized Cammy had deliberately created work for him, and despite the unusual tactic, he appreciated the thought behind it. When Kane later acknowledged that Cammy was a talented mechanic, Cammy's reaction said it all. Receiving praise from Kane Dingle is no small thing. The relationship between the two has been changing in recent weeks. Earlier, Kane surprised Cammy by arranging somewhere for him to live. After learning that Cammy had been sleeping in a barn on Emmerdale farm, the Dingles stepped in to help. Kane eventually offered him a caravan near Wishingwell, giving him a place he could renovate and make his own. Tampering with a car to encourage Kane back to work may not have been the most conventional solution, but it was certainly in keeping with Cammy's character. As a mechanic himself, Cammy understood that returning to the garage could help Kane adjust to life after surgery. While many things have changed, his passion for fixing vehicles remains the same. The gesture didn't instantly make them best friends, but it highlighted the growing respect and understanding between them. Kane and Cammy may still be very different personalities, yet they finally seem to be finding common ground. Emmerdale incorporates Lisa Riley's real-life injury into Mandy's storyline. Emmerdale recently adjusted Mandy Dingle's storyline to reflect a real-life injury suffered by actor Lisa Riley. Back in March, Lisa revealed on social media that she had experienced a serious fall, resulting in surgery on her thumb. In the latest episode of the ITV soap, Mandy arrived at the Woolpack wearing a sling, immediately prompting questions from Charity about what had happened. Mandy brushed it off as a minor mishap, while Moira jokingly suggested that a few glasses of Prosecco and an attempt at roller skating may have been responsible. The conversation soon turned to the pub's darts team, with Charity wondering whether Mandy's injury would prevent her from taking part. Mandy insisted she would still be able to play, although she hinted there could be another reason she might not be available. Before she could explain further, Caleb interrupted the group and questioned why they were all spending time in the pub during working hours. The scene comes shortly after Lisa shared positive news about her recovery journey. Last week, she posted a video from a hospital corridor, happily showing that her hand was finally free from its cast. Sharing the update on Instagram, Lisa celebrated the milestone, revealing that 9 weeks had passed since her thumb operation and confirming that she no longer needed to wear the cast. The actor appeared delighted with her progress, proudly announcing that her thumb was finally free as she continues her recovery. Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 at 8 p.m. on weekday evenings and is also available to stream on ITVX.